welcome to Articulate Warbling. I'm Laura.
I'm Zach, and I have a need
For speed. Today we are going to be reviewing Top Gun
Maverick.
A synopsis is required, I believe.
I believe so. I believe in life after cruise. Cool, your feet are salty. Makes me want to have, like, really salty crisps. Oh no.
After more than 30 years of service as one of the Navy's top aviators, Pete Maverick Mitchell is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and dodging the advancement in rank that would ground him. Training a detachment of graduates for a special assignment, Maverick must confront the ghosts of his past and his deepest fears, culminating in a mission that demands the ultimate sacrifice from those who choose to fly it. Well, that sums that film up.
It does really well. There are some sprinklings of character development in there.
Sure.
First of all, I don't believe you need to watch Top Gun to watch this.
I would agree based on the fact that I have not seen Top Gun.
I don't think you need to.
No, you don't. Because they explain everything in a nice, quick, flashbacky way.
Or it's weaved into the narrative.
Yeah.
The whole thing centred around Goose and Rooster.
Exactly. And
It's called Rooster.
Oh, no. And the lady, Tom Cruise's lady friend.
Oh, Jennifer Connelly's character, yeah.
So, and she's like, no, you're not, I'm not going to tell you what time I get off because we always end up the same way. Straight away. In like 5 words, she's just told me that they shag every time they meet up and it never ends in a relationship.
Good writing.
She always gets a little bit upset by it and she's like, do you know what, this time, Mr. Cruise, this is not going to happen, alright, Mav? Not going to happen, mate.
And you understand, I understand. I've never watched a movie with Tom Cruise and gone, oh, Tom Cruise, you charmer. Oh, Tom Cruise, you're so appealing.
Oh, he's a slime ball.
As Mav, holy fuck, I want to jump his bones.
Really?
Holy fuck, yeah.
Ew.
Where are you going?
Get my vape juice? Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm still sat down.
Shut the fuck up. Domestic alert.
We're having a domestic. Thought it was going to be one of those. Oh my god, I just don't want to see it. Look, I don't have a high opinion of Tom Cruise, especially if you've watched Louis Theroux's My Scientology movie. They basically do a whole breakdown on why Tom Cruise is a brainwashed and potential cult leader himself. He has that demonic look. Insert clip of him doing that interview because it needs to be featured.
Being a Scientologist, when you drive past an accident, it's not like anyone else. As you drive past, you know you have to do something about it because you know you're the only one that can really help. But that's what drives me, is that I know that we have an opportunity and to really help for the first time, effectively change people's lives, and I am dedicated to that. I'm absolutely, uncompromisingly dedicated to that. The orgs are there to help, okay, but we as also the public, it's like we have a responsibility. It's not just the orgs, it's not just Dave Miscavige, it's not just me, it's you, it's everyone out there kind of rereading KSW and looking at what needs to be done and saying, okay, am I gonna do it or am I not gonna do it? Period. And am I going to look at that guy, or am I too afraid because I have my own out ethics to put in someone else's ethics? And that's all it comes down to. Because I won't hesitate to put ethics in on someone else, because I put it ruthlessly in on myself. And I think that I respect that in others. And, I'm there to help, and we're here to help. And my opinion is that, look, you're either on board or you're not on board, okay? But just, if you're on board just like the rest of us, period.
But discount that after you haven't watched it, because he's actually grown from that a lot. He's more humble. I think he kind of realised he was a bit of a bit out there. Tom Cruise lost his shit in 2020 on the set of Mission Impossible 7.
We're making movies right now because of us. Because they believe in us and what we're doing. I'm on the phone with every studio at night. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs, you I don't ever want to see it again. Ever. And if you don't do it, you're fired. And I see you do it again, you're gone. Anyone on this crew does it. That's it. And you too, and you too, and you. Don't you ever do it again. That's it. No apologies.
And he ranted, "We are the gold standard." And you know what? You fucking are. Especially in relation to this. What a gripping, thrilling, emotional, intense, visceral experience.
I was hanging on to my seat.
You literally were, and it wasn't even 4DX. It did have X relations. We'll go into that later.
Yeah.
What worked for you and what didn't work for you?
I want to know if this is on 4DX because I kind of want to go and see it in 4DX.
Oh, it most definitely is.
What worked for me? I mean, it was the Fast 9 that we didn't get. It's
True.
quite simple, but aeroplanes.
Yeah.
And, you know...
Jet fighters, yeah.
Yeah, I was quite literally moving with the planes.
She's moving her head like...
I was moving with the planes.
I whip my hair back and forth, I whip my hair back and forth.
I got whiplash. I was dizzy. I was nauseated.
You had your hand over your heart for 99.9% of it.
I did, because I didn't know whether I wanted to cry or cheer or scream in terror. I was just, it was honestly the most fun-filled, petrol-fueled 2 hours of my entire life. The best.
And it's insane that Tom Cruise literally does all of that G-force shit anyway.
You could see his eyes, like, where they were, like, sagging.
That the people, before they were cast, they put them through, like, a real heavy training. Like, if you can't get through this G-force barrier, you can't be in the movie. If you can't sustain this velocity, if you haven't got the brain to actually fly one of these, of course there's insertion shots. Tom Cruise would not basically say get in there on your own,
No,
but they say you do need to experience this. You can't sell this unless you've experienced it. We can throw as much turbine wind at you, you know, power, what is it, a big generator, like a cinematic fan at you. It's not going to capture it. We're going to throw you into G-force. Like, you're going to feel it. And
I felt, there was so much, like, you know it's a Hollywood film, you know that it's going to end well, right? That's how Hollywood films usually
I thought they were
end.
going to kill him off.
But I had moments, and I'm like, oh my god, he's going to die. Oh my god. And it wasn't just him. There were others that I was like, oh my god, they're going to die. They're actually going to die. They're going to die. They're going to die. They've died. They're dead. And it's what makes it great is the aerial shots. It's all done for real. Of course, CGI is only applied to enhance or hide, and I like that. It's going back to basics, basic filmmaking. If you've got and it's a little bit like Michael Bay. Take out the Transformers side of things. I usually don't like military-based things. It's all samey. I don't like jet fighter things. I don't like films based around vehicles unless it has an inflection of sci-fi elements. That's just me. Or smashing robots. So I was kind of a bit squeamish because I'm like, oh, my attention's not going to be held about fucking fighter pilots, but the characters, the different themes, the different strands, you can't help but love them, hate them, fist bump, fist raised in the air. It's so well-rounded. It is a good, full-hearted Hollywood blockbuster. And the heart, there's a lot of heart. And Tom Cruise, man, he gives it. He's become a staple as Tom Cruise, as if we don't know who he is. We make a joke about that. It's always like, Tom Cruise. It's like, who's that? Why are you putting his name in the credits? I know Tom Cruise. He really shows that before he kind of pigeonholed himself as an action, you know, up in the rafter. What is it called? Up on the Billboard.
Up on the billboard, the name Tom Cruise. Before that, he was actually a character actor. He was a drama actor. And you saw his previous lesser known, lesser appreciated movies. He's passionate about stunts. He's passionate about the filmic experience, the viscerality. But also here, you saw a lot of the Tom Cruise we don't see. Do you know what I'm talking about? The Tom Cruise that we know now, we don't see.
Yeah.
The Tom Cruise that we know now, we don't see a lot of what I can't get my fucking word. Tom Cruise is a household name. He's an action star. He's not known as an actor anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas here you felt he was both. Best of both worlds and combining beautifully. Spoiler warning. Val Kilmer is back. And it is one of the most beautiful, respectful representations of his character, not just in the sense of it's what's best for the character. For Val Kilmer himself, Val Kilmer a while ago was diagnosed with throat cancer, I believe, and he had extensive surgery and his vocal cords don't work like they used to. He can't speak. So all projects that he's been involved in, he's had to mime or talk, and they erase it, and they use his son to replace his voice, or a AI intelligence system that scans his old performances and pieces it together. I like that they went, no, we want Val Kilmer, even without his sheen and shine. We want Val Kilmer as he is now. We're not going to de-age you, CGI you. We're not going to get someone else to do your voice. We're going to incorporate this into the story, and by doing that, it makes it more impactful. It makes it more emotional, and it feels like a real return to form for him, because he is Val Kilmer as he is now in full form, with no adjustments, no alterations, as just him, Val Kilmer, the actor and the man. I'm trying to get emotional talking about it, and I thought it was so respectful of the filmmakers, Tom and everyone, and I only expected a cameo via mention over text message and his image on the wall. So when he came into it, and having them together on screen, you can see the unspoken respect and love for each other that they actually have. It's been a long time coming, and that just comes through on the screen. And I think it helped tremendously. And it elevated the film. And it's brave where they go with the character. He dies. And considering that Val Kilmer hasn't died, I thought that was brave of Val Kilmer to say, it's okay to kill him. It's okay to kill him off. He's vulnerable in this story. I was vulnerable at a time where I thought I was going to die. Maybe it's okay for this character to pass on, and also it's integral to the story. It moves the story. It's not just, oh, we're killing him off because Val Kilmer can't perform like he used to. It's not like that at all. It's like it's to push the story, and it basically in a lot of way reaffirms something with Tom Cruise's character. With the loss of Goose, and with the loss and the way he's going to go forward and try and regain something that he had a relationship with Goose's son, Rooster. And it pushes forward. Sensational writing, sensational directing. Joseph Kosinski started out doing really heavy CGI films. Tron Legacy, 99% was CGI. Oblivion, the sci-fi thriller with Tom Cruise, it was him getting into the realm of Tom Cruise area where it's like, no, you don't need to be reliant on CGI. We can do this for real. And they had a really strong relationship starting from there. And since 2013, they've been developing this. But even way back, it has been in development for 20 years with the original film's director, Tony Scott. I don't think the movie got off its feet because Tony Scott, whether or not you like his later half films, he evolved into a really frenetic, hyperactive, style over substance, Michael Bay-esque vision with his fast cutting, his visual flares, his fast zooms, his execution. I don't think him and the creators and the team behind Top Gun would have got this movie. I don't think so at all. I would be interested to see what Tony Scott would have done as how he evolved as a filmmaker, but it wouldn't be in this movie. This movie has gone back to brass tactics, and I think Tony Scott would have, freneticized it. I would have personally, as a fan of Tony Scott, liked to have seen it once upon a time when he was alive. Sadly, he jumped off a bridge and committed suicide in 2011, so it couldn't come together, and they thought he was dead in the water. That is so bad. Dead in the water. I'm sorry, I did not mean it like that. Mind the pun. Oh shit, because he jumped off a bridge and died. Oh no. So Tony Scott was dead in the water, and so was the project, pretty much. Shit. I'm sorry, Tony. I'm sorry, Ridley Scott. Don't sue me. And, oh no.
What the fuck did you just say?
Oh no. I can't go back.
The worst thing is you just keep digging.
Floating screenplay, Top Gun Maverick beside his dead body. No, fuck. Frenetic cutting around his body. Stop. Anyway, it took a long time from there, but when I think Tom saw a lot in Joseph, and he's like, I think you're the perfect match, and he signed on for this in 2013. That is a lot of prep time. So they've obviously perfected it. Also, I noticed Christopher McQuarrie is the scriptwriter on this, who is another, go-to with Tom Cruise, who's done the last 4 Mission Impossible films. He gets the people he's worked with and has a good relationship with, and he ensures to get the best thing they can. We are the gold standard! And they have. Back to brass tacks. I like to see Joseph doing the more real live... He did a movie called Only the Brave, and that even got criticism because he was doing things for real, like real practical effects, but then he would randomly have weird CGI fire, and they're like, you need to let go of the CGI shit, man. And I can just hear Tom Cruise like, we're the gold standard, motherfucker! Stop it!
When we were in the cinema, there was an old couple next to me. You know when they showed the advert for Mission Impossible? She was like, we've seen this!
Yeah, next year.
And then she was like, 2023, when was that? Like, that's next year, you twat.
I always hate the trailer for the release for the Mission Impossible films. I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. Even this one, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, but I know I'll go see it. I'm going to be like, gold standard, motherfucker. This film is just so good. Well paced, well plotted. I would like to see a sequel.
Yeah.
I'd like to see an evolution of these characters. I just hope it doesn't take another... But he would probably still do it. In his 70s or 80s, he'd still be doing it. Yeah. He looks good for 63. Holy fuck.
How many stars?
5. 5. 5. 5. You?
5.
5. 5. Laura was nodding. It doesn't really translate well on podcasts. She was nodding. Boop, 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 boop. Anything you disliked?
No.
Screen X.
The old man next to me.
The old man next to you. Screen X, we saw it on. I hated it.
I loved it.
Yeah, I hated it.
I loved it.
I didn't like the gimmick. The left-hand side projection was a little off as well in the colour. I thought it was just a really bad gimmick. But also I noticed that it's like the most beautiful screen that Cineworld has. It was so clear. That was like 4K definition.
I thought Screen X was really good. I felt like I was in it. I felt like I was...
I had to ignore the sides.
It was like... But you're not supposed to look at the sides. You're supposed to look dead on and feel the sides.
I couldn't, because on the left-hand side, the the lighting was off. And then the light coming from the sides kept refracting on the edges of the main screen. So it was an oversaturation,
Oh, I think you've just...
cast shadow. And I was taking autism, baby. So I was basically I thought it was too much.
Oh,
I didn't like the gimmick.
I loved it. It's not a gimmick.
I was encapsulated by that screen. If they could show more films on that screen that aren't Screen X orientated, I'd be happy, because that is a beautiful screen. It hasn't got any phantom baby paw prints. I do think Cineworld is haunted by a dead baby, because their screens have these horrible baby pudge fingers. Maybe it is they do say that dinosaurs... I say, why if spirits exist, where's all the dinosaurs ghost? Maybe it's T-Rex prints or dinosaur prints all over the screens, because they're fucking huge. That ain't a baby print, that's like a magnified baby print. Take a baby pudge hand and go...
I really enjoyed Screen X. I really felt like I was in it. The only thing that was missing was the 4DX, really. Needed to be a 4DXX, and I'd be in my element. That was, I found it really I just found that it was far more all-consuming having the sides on for me. That was just really, I think it did help with the whole, moving my head as I went along. That's how I felt like I was like, ooh, as if I was flying the plane.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, so.
I'm glad that you got that. I'm glad that someone did. Because half the audience was either old or too young. The kid behind me, man, every minute he was asking it, and his dad was like, "No more, I'll fucking choke you out, you little shit."
So, 5 stars for Top Gun Maverick.
What's our next one?
I don't know. Don't forget to like,
Share,
and subscribe to Articulate Warbling YouTube channel.
thank you.
And good night.
His passion, his energy, his shorts, that pink hat, his passion. He would, in fact, I got a note from him about 3 or 4 days before he passed away, and because we were talking about doing a film, and he's like, "Come on, Denzel, we gotta go, come on." He's just always, he was like he would cry in emotional scenes, and he's just a wonderful, wonderful man.